Hey Tribe, Gavin Seim. Welcome to the Emulsion 4 training series for creating amazing platinum, cyanotype, collodion, selenium, just these great chemical mixes in Photoshop that really pay homage to the traditional darkroom counterparts, not countertops. Let's jump right in. In this first video, I just want to show you how to install Emulsion. And if you already have it installed, if you already know how to manage actions in Photoshop, just skip this one and go to the next one in the playlist. But I just want to jump in. If you're not really comfortable in Photoshop, if you're new to it, you don't have to be great in Photoshop to use actions. When actions are made well, they will guide you through it and let you do far more advanced things than you're doing in a raw editor, in Lightroom, and Capture One, and in On One, things like that. And also give you way more control than a plugin. And that's the beauty of using actions. If you are advanced, they just save you huge amounts of time as well, because you don't have to spend hours building up the layers. They do the hard work for you and then leave the creativity in your hands. I'm going to show you in this series how to really master your platinum, palladium, and your chemical looks. But first, let's just install. If you go to your download here that you got, you can see you have the file that says Photoshop install files. Okay, you have a CS5, CX6 version. All right, and you have your CC version. So what you want to do is go to your action file. Normally, you can simply double click it. You can see how it already is connected with Photoshop. Just click the action file and let's watch what happens. Well, it's going to open right here in Photoshop. Here we are in Photoshop, and you can see that Seim Emulsion 4 opened in the actions panel. Now, what if the actions panel isn't there? It's X'd out. You don't see anything. Where's my actions? Well, no worries. Go right up here to Window. Okay, and anytime you're missing a window that someone's talking about in a Photoshop video, it's probably right here. In this case, it's alphabetical. Just click Actions. And you see right there, the Actions panel pops up. Now, you've probably seen me doing this color-coded thing when I'm using most of my actions. I'm going to drag Emulsion to the top. You can see I have Black Room and Naked Darkroom and different actions in there, but we're working with Black Room right now. So non-button mode, this list mode here, is where you organize and delete and install actions. By the way, these three little dots right here give you more options. So if it didn't work just to double click, you can actually click these and go right here to Load Actions. And then you can actually just browse to those actions and find whatever you need and just import them directly from there. Now, we've already installed them. They're up in here. The other thing you're going to want to do is click those three little dots and just switch to button mode. If you're not organizing or moving things around, this allows you to just click and go. If you're not in button mode, you have to select an action, and then you have to go down to the bottom of the palette here and press play, down where you record and organize and delete actions. It's also worth noting that if you delete an action pack, when you do an update on actions, you go into Photoshop and you can just select and you can just delete the old set right here and load the new one. It's not going to affect any images you've saved or any previous work you've done. It's not even going to delete the actions off your hard drive if you downloaded them or they're saved in your Dropbox or something like that. It's just removing them from Photoshop only. But if you're doing an update, if I send you an update for any of my actions, delete the old version and install the new so you don't get conflicts and confusion, because the actions I make actually do really complicated things behind the scenes. They have support files. You don't have to worry about all that. It just does it for you, but it's best only to have one copy in because sometimes they'll conflict with each other. Okay, so we're just switching to button mode here, and the actions are in. One more thing you want to remember though, if we go back to this download folder, you'll notice that in our Photoshop install files folder of our zip that we downloaded, we had this Seim Emulsion textures. Again, you just want to double click those, okay? And that's going to load into Photoshop as well. And that's going to show up in the patterns window. Again, you can access that from right here in patterns. And if you look here, this is the Emulsion textures. You don't really have to keep this window open. You don't have to know it's there. You can, of course, use these as patterns anywhere. But the point is, if you click them and they've loaded in the pattern window, it's fine. Because then when you run things like the water process paper, the water stains, the textures, the seamless textures built in, and these are great because they don't require any placement. They don't require any action. And a lot of them are built in to actions and mixes within Emulsion 4, and I'm going to show you that. The bottom line is you just have to pretty much load them and you're done. you don't have to worry about them because everything's going to be controlled from the actions panel. But if you go to run a texture action and it says, hey, this pattern isn't available, it's probably because you forgot to load up those textures, and just go to your download and pop those in. Okay, that is really all there is to it. We're in button mode. We have the textures loaded. We're ready to take some images and start creating platinum and cyanotype and all kinds of good stuff. I'm going to show you that in the next video. In this one, I just wanted to show you the install, and we'll see you on the other side.